They say that water is the closest thing to source energy. And it's true. Water is very healing, water is very clean. People love being by the water, living by the water. We need it. We're like 90% water ourselves. Gotta drink it. It's very healing. And there's another interesting thing about at least the ocean, which is the waves. Everything comes in waves. Waves are a natural part of the human experience and just the universe, to be honest. If you look at my logo, right? Black and white, the duality, up and down, waves go like this. It's the way the universe works. It's the way, obviously, the ocean works, but it's the way everything works. The stock market goes like this. Our emotions go like this, right? Our mood, our income can fluctuate, right? Especially as an entrepreneur, sometimes you don't know where your next paycheck's gonna come from, and it comes up and down. It's called a currency for a reason. And it's really interesting if you start applying this pattern to everything in life. And you start looking at the world through this lens of waves and of ups and downs. If you have a low time, if you have a low moment in life, if you're going through a low period, then if you stick it out, you'll get through the other side. And there's gonna be a high period coming after that. On the flip side, if you're having a really high time, if you keep going, there could be a crash. I think a lot of us know what I'm talking about. We all experience this. And so one of the challenges that I try to do in life is, how do I keep that growth steady? How do I have less of these big ups and downs and just keep going steady? I think there's a couple of things. Well, the main thing is to prevent the big down crashes, because then you can just keep going up, right? It's like in Tony Robbins' book, Money Master the Game, he interviews a lot of very successful financial people about how to keep your money and how to be more successful with your finances. And one of the things they all talk about is don't lose money. It's okay if you don't win some money, but don't lose money. And what does that mean? Don't have that big crash. So how can we not have that big crash in our psyches, in our minds, in our personalities, and in us, right? The best way I've found is to do a little of the work every day. If I spend 15, 20 minutes a day doing the MindWorks process, doing my meditation in the morning or in the evening, and I just dip into that low point, if I get in touch with the uncomfortable feelings of the day, or whatever my body is feeling right now that's a little uncomfortable, and I start to let that go, then I'm doing these little kind of waves like this as I'm going up. And then let's say an event happens where I would have had a crash, let's say major breakup, or something that would have caused an emotional reaction. If I've done the work and I have the skill set of how to get in touch with the negative, uncomfortable sensations and feelings in my body and those emotions, if I do that work constantly every day, what normally would have been a big crash is just going to be a small dip. And that's how you keep from having these big fluctuations in life of these big ups and these big downs. You do a little bit of the work every day. You have a little bit of the down every day. But not only that, you also release the energy behind them. And this is what MindWorks is all about, right? You release the toxic energy, the negative energy that you're holding on to, and that's going to change you internally from the inside out. But looking at the outside in, there's always going to be some external event. There's always going to be something that can affect you, because our minds, our bodies, our senses are just literally wired for the outside world. If you turn the one sense you have internally that you can, your awareness, if you turn your awareness on the inside, you can start doing this work, the inner work, and that's really going to affect you from all of the external stimulus that happens over the course of your life. And in a good way, because you're going to have done the work and be able to handle whatever comes your way. You will be more mentally resilient. You will be what they're calling anti-fragile. You're gonna have this mental fortitude that you didn't have before. And so just like the ocean comes in waves, comes and goes. Sometimes you get big waves, sometimes you get hurricanes. In Puerto Rico, we get hurricanes. And as long as you do the work, you're not gonna have as big of these swings. And if you do have a really big one, you're going to be able to handle it because you've done the work and you have the tools to master your mindset. And you're almost gonna, this happened to me literally a few weeks ago. There was this girl that I liked and I got really attached. It was an old pattern of mine. I hadn't met someone like this in 7 years where I got really emotionally attached very quickly. It took me a little while to catch it because it's so deep, it's so ingrained. This was one of those big kind of down events. And then a few days later, I realized this and I said, okay, time to do the work. I sat on my couch, I did my Mindworks process, started working with those emotions, working with those feelings, and working with that energy, and just letting it go. Me 5 years ago would not have been able to do that. I would have fallen into like a downward spiral mentally, and that would have been another downward spiral, right? Another kind of downfall. But not this time, because I had the tools. And it changes everything. I felt better in less than a day. In less than a day, it was over. And I had my mindset back. I was clear again, and I was out of that spiral. So it's really powerful once you start taking control and learning the tools to master your mindset, let go of your insecurities, release the energetic charge that's driving your fears. And it's gonna change everything, because when you change your mind, you're gonna change you. And you're gonna become the best you can. And not only that, you're gonna become your authentic self, your true self. Because we all wear masks. We wear masks and we don't even know we're wearing them sometimes. I think in another video I talked about the first time I did psilocybin, which was here on this island, somewhere over there. And one of the things I realized that was very apparent to me on that experience was all of the masks that I wear and how I was so good at navigating them. I felt like I was an ape swinging through the monkey bars of the scaffolding of this like system I built in front of my face to present a different Andre to the world. The false self, the masks we wear. As you start to do the work internally, as you start to go through this process, you start peeling away those masks one by one. And you're no longer afraid to show up as your authentic self. And you learn how to surf the waves of life naturally as you without trying to be someone you're not. And that's where the power is. Once you do that, then your decision-making changes, your business can change because you're more authentic and you actually see the world differently. And it's gonna become more of your manifestation, your creation. It's going to become more of what you want your life to actually be rather than what you think it should be or what other people want it to be. And that's when you start living a happier life. That is how you be happy now and in the future and along the way. A lot of people, we have goals, we have things that we want, and we say, yeah, I'll be happy when I have blank. I'll be happy when I achieve blank. I'll be happy when I earn blank. And the key is to be happy now and later. And you do that by letting go of the attachments of the ideas of the things that we want that we don't have yet. And this is the way you do it. You do it with Mindworks. You got to dig in and let it go. But how we let go is the question. And that's something I've been looking for years, haven't really found in somebody else's process. So I had to develop it myself. And I, just after years of experimenting and trying different things, I developed what I'm now calling the Mindworks process. And it's changed my life. And I think it can change yours too. And it's gonna help you ride the waves of life smoother, with less crashes and burns. And it's a toolkit that anytime there is a crash or burn, you're gonna learn. and you're gonna know what to do. You're gonna apply the tools, and you'll apply the process, apply the exercises, and you'll know what to do. And you'll do the work, and you'll be better off for it. And it's a hell of a lot better than ruminating in our emotions, swimming in our toxic feelings and the toxic chemicals in our bodies from thinking and ruminating and this downward spirals we get into. So, kind of rambled on a little bit, but long story short, when you look at the ocean, when you look at the waves of life, you got to ask yourself, am I crashing and burning every time there's a big one that I'm not ready for? Or am I riding the waves? Am I surfing on top of them and enjoying the ride along the way? Because it's a hell of a view and it's a hell of a journey. I'll see you in the next video.